The following video is a quick explanation of the process of turning a 6th grade social studies unit into an online learning course. I worked in collaboration on this project with social studies teacher Rebecca Mackerlane, or as she and her students lovingly refer to her as, Miss Mac. As you can imagine, we wanted to start small, so we took a 4-week, 20-day unit on ancient Greece and transferred that information into a functioning online learning course using Google Apps for Education. A quick background on our school's technology integration is probably needed at this point. In 2013, our school purchased Google Apps for Education, and we had an ongoing initiative with netbooks for each student. Our teachers had been piloting this initiative for several years, and 6th graders, after about a month or so of school, had become frequent and fluid users of Google Apps for Education tools, such as Docs, Forms, Sheets, Slides, Blogger, and even creating their own websites and portfolios using Google Sites. The Ancient Greece course was designed as a mid-year course with the understanding that students have already acquired the basic understanding of Google Apps as well as classroom procedures. With that background, I suppose we can now move on to the actual creation of the course. When Ms. Mack and I began to work on the class, we started with the most basic question. What was the purpose of this course, and what were the outcomes we were looking for? Ms. Mack articulated that she had several homebound instruction students that would be missing out on class projects and assignments as she was not personally completing their tutoring. She had hoped that by creating the class they would be able to stay up to date on content knowledge and still be able to be part of class projects. After establishing the goals of the course, we worked with a backwards design approach, beginning with the assessments that Ms. Mack wanted to use over the course, which included an exam, several small quizzes, and daily class activities. From there, the next step for us was to create an outline for the course, which would detail specific assignments and the assessments to support the learning outcomes. We decided to do this by using a calendar so that our students would have a general outline of the course as well. This calendar could be seen by students and also easily edited by Ms. Mack. We also decided to try to avoid as many technical difficulties as possible by including a contact and help support page. If students were having a problem with a specific tool or program, they could send a help form and Ms. Mack would be notified by email and would be able to answer any of their questions. The next issue we addressed was continuity and creating some form of a routine, which is not only essential in middle school, but also for a successful online course. An organized, easy-to-navigate platform can make all the difference when it comes to online learning. We then took daily elements that both students and Ms. Mack were comfortable with and replicated them into daily activities on the site. Basically, instead of writing a journal response in a spiral notebook, students would reply to a journal prompt on a Google form, and the response would go directly to Ms. Mack's Drive in the form of a Google spreadsheet. Again, we kept the classroom routines the same, we just changed the platform. Being aware that an often unintentional side effect of transferring from a traditional course to an online format is trying to fit double the amount of work in the same course, Ms. Mack and I kept the daily work to 3 specific areas: an opening activity, an assignment, and an exit ticket. Each area of the online day had a specific purpose. The opening activity was meant to spark student interest in upcoming material and to get students' minds thinking about how the material could relate directly to them. The assignment portion, which was the equivalent of daily classwork, was designed to allow students to create their own work based off teacher-created instructional materials. The exit ticket was basically used as a comprehension check or evaluation, or for any further thoughts or questions that students might have about the day's lesson. The specific routine of opening activity, assignment, and exit ticket would continue throughout the 4 weeks of the course, varying only slightly on quiz and exam days. In short, to complete the transformation from traditional course to online learning, Ms. Mack and I started with the main objective of the course, which was to try to make the same in-class learning available to students who were not physically in the classroom, and then we continued with a backwards approach. We then focused on the assessments that were needed to achieve the learning goals that Ms. Mack had outlined. Our next step was then to create an outline for the course, which we did in the form of a calendar. After that, we simply took the in-class routines and procedures that Ms. Mack and her students were already comfortable with and turned them into online activities with the help of Google Apps for Education. While the site itself is not overtly flashy, the continuity of the daily work, as well as the simple outline of the course itself, made for a student-tested, successful online learning experience.